Let's go Broncos! What if I told you that the Denver Broncos playoff chances might depend not on Russell Wilson or Courtland Sutton, but on a rookie linebacker you've probably never heard of? What if I told you that behind the scenes, there's growing tension regarding injuries that could change the course of the entire season? What if I told you that Sean Payton might be about to make one of the boldest decisions of his coaching career? Stick with me, because what I've discovered is something every true Broncos fan needs to know. But before I reveal what's really happening in Dove Valley, click the like button if you're a die-hard Broncos fan and leave a comment below saying, "Go Broncos! We're ready for the playoffs." Trust me, this is a video you'll want to watch until the end. Let's get into it. The Broncos' recent loss to the Jaguars might have disappointed some, but the real headline is not the scoreboard, it's the injury report. Forget the defeat, because what's really keeping Broncos fans up at night is the status of key players like Dre Greenlaw and Pat Bryant. And trust me, the news is not what we wanted to hear. Dre Greenlaw, who had already missed the first 7 weeks of the season, went down again late in the game against Jacksonville. A hamstring injury forced him to pull up just as he was closing in for a tackle on Travis Etienne. If you blinked, you might have missed it, but those paying close attention saw it. He pulled up, and that was it. He was quickly ruled out, and with a short week ahead, the odds of him suiting up against the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day are slim to none. Now, let's be honest, this is a brutal blow. Greenlaw isn't just another linebacker. Since returning, he's been an anchor on this defense with 43 tackles, a sack, and an elite PFF grade. He's the communicator, the quarterback of the defense. Shutting him down for the next 2 games might be the smart move. Yes, even if he's technically ready. Why risk aggravating an injury when you're paying this guy $10 million a year and your eyes are on the playoffs? And here's where things get really interesting. Denver's depth at linebacker is being tested like never before. Behind Greenlaw, we've got Alex Singleton holding things down, but after that, things get thin fast. Justin Strnad, hurt. Karen Reed, also dealing with injury issues. That leaves one name, rookie Jordan Turner. Jordan Turner, undrafted out of Michigan State and Wisconsin, is suddenly being thrust into a spotlight few expected him to see this season. The good news? This kid has heart, hustle, and high football IQ. He's shown flashes on special teams, and his college tape reveals a player who's constantly around the football and capable of reading offensive schemes with impressive precision. Turner posted one of the best run-stopping grades in college football last year, and his motor is undeniable. But is he ready to carry a significant role in the NFL? That's the million-dollar question. While Turner shows great awareness and solid zone coverage skills, his man-to-man abilities are lacking. Faster, more physical tight ends and wide receivers could expose that weakness quickly. His athletic traits are average, and he's still going through the typical rookie growing pains. Still, the Broncos may have no choice but to throw him into the fire and hope for the best. It might be one of those moments where the coaches just say, "Kid, you're all we've got, go make a play." Sound familiar? That's how Jade Barron got his shot. Now let's turn to Pat Bryant. The scene was scary, carted off the field, stretcher and all. But here's the surprising twist, it's only a concussion. As strange as it sounds, that's good news. No spinal damage, no structural trauma. He walked away with movement in his arms and legs, and that's a blessing. Still, Bryant won't be suiting up on Christmas, and his status for the Chargers game is a toss-up at best. Bryant is now in the NFL's concussion protocol, and how long that lasts is anyone's guess. Concussions are unpredictable. Sometimes it's a headache, sometimes it's sensitivity to light or sound, sometimes it's dizziness. The medical team will monitor him daily, but the Chiefs game is out of the question. That being said, considering the Chiefs are rolling out a third-string quarterback, the Broncos might not need to push anyone back onto the field too soon. But let's not sugarcoat this. Bryant's absence puts even more pressure on the wide receiver group, and frankly, they've been dropping the ball, literally. Against the Jaguars, it was hard to watch. Denver currently ranks second in the NFL in drop passes with 38. That's unacceptable, especially in December. While Courtland Sutton has been sure-handed all year, just one drop, others like Troy Franklin and Evan Ingram have struggled to hold onto the football. Franklin's raw talent is evident, but his hands aren't where they need to be. Ingram has been inconsistent at best. Sean Payton will have to address this in the offseason, whether it's through the draft or free agency. Denver needs a receiver with reliable hands to complement the current group. Marvin Mims and Pat Bryant have roles. Franklin has potential, but someone has to be the glue guy, the one you can count on when it's 3rd and 8 with the game on the line. Because when we talk about trusting Jordan Turner, we're not just talking about plugging a hole, we're talking about leaning on a rookie with no real NFL defensive snaps in high-stakes December football, against the AFC West rivals and with playoff seeding on the line. It's not an easy ask. But here's the truth, this situation might just force the Broncos to discover whether they've unearthed a hidden gem or simply a special teams contributor with upside. And that's something we won't know until he gets real reps against real competition. Sean Payton isn't new to situations like this. He's been around long enough to know when to trust a young player and when to scheme around his weaknesses. The question is whether Denver's system can protect Turner enough to let him succeed. Expect to see a lot more zone, some creative blitz packages where Turner isn't isolated in coverage, and plenty of rotation to keep him fresh. Singleton will be the centerpiece of that linebacker core while Greenlaw is out, and it's likely we'll see more 3 safety looks to compensate for the linebacker depth. Now, let's circle back to the offense, because with Pat Bryant sidelined and the rest of the receiving core struggling, Russell Wilson needs some serious support. What we saw against Jacksonville can't happen again. The timing was off, the drops were rampant, and it completely derailed drives. Whether it's Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, or even a tight end stepping up, someone needs to be the safety valve for Wilson when things break down. And it's not just about the catch itself. It's about moving the chains, maintaining tempo, and building confidence. Every drop feels like a dagger to momentum. Every failed conversion keeps the defense on the field longer. And with injuries mounting on that side of the ball, Denver can't afford to wear them down. The offense must step up, starting this week. The matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't come at a more critical moment. While it might look like an easy win on paper, facing a third-string quarterback and a team that struggled to find rhythm late in the season, it's also a trap game if Denver isn't careful. You can't walk into Arrowhead or host them at home on Christmas thinking it's a freebie. Not with playoff hopes on the line. Not with your linebacker unit decimated and your wide receivers dropping passes like hot potatoes. But here's the thing, this game could also be a defining moment. A statement win against a division rival on a national stage, with backups stepping up and stars showing out. That's how momentum gets built heading into January. If Denver wins and gets healthier in the process, they're right where they need to be. And you better believe Sean Payton is thinking 3 moves ahead. If they win out, they've got a shot at that elusive first-round bye, and that's massive, not just for rest, but for getting guys like Greenlaw and Bryant back in time to contribute in meaningful ways. A rested, healthy defense featuring Singleton, Greenlaw, Barron, and possibly a surging Jordan Turner? That changes everything. Add to that a receiving core that starts to find its rhythm, and suddenly the narrative shifts from injuries and inconsistency to resilience and redemption. But make no mistake, the next 2 weeks are critical. Win against the Chiefs, handle business against the Chargers, and you enter the playoffs with confidence, depth, and maybe even a healthy roster. Lose both, and you're clinging to wildcard hopes, banged up, and facing an uphill battle from the start. So I'll leave you with this. How confident are you in this Broncos team to handle the adversity they're facing right now? Can Jordan Turner rise to the challenge? Will the receivers finally get it together? Is this the moment Denver flips the switch and becomes the dark horse contender nobody wants to face? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you're still watching and bleeding orange and blue like I am, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We've got more content coming, so stay tuned and don't miss what's next. Go Broncos! There's more great content on screen now. Check it out. What if key injuries, just weeks before the playoffs, are pushing Sean Payton into a corner where he may have no choice but to gamble big on unknown names? That's exactly what's happening right now, and the implications could reshape everything we thought we knew about this team's chances. Behind closed doors, the urgency is growing. With Dre Greenlaw going down again and Pat Bryant entering concussion protocol after a terrifying on-field moment, the roster is on thin ice. And while fans are still dissecting the loss to the Jaguars, what's brewing inside Broncos HQ is much bigger than just a final score. A potential defensive collapse. A wide receiver unit struggling with drops. And a rookie linebacker, Jordan Turner, being asked to save the day. Want to know if he's up to the challenge? Stay tuned, and before we dive into the full story, hit that like button and comment below. Go Broncos! I believe in the next man up.